I'm Andy Pilgrim with Automobile. Welcome to another edition of Pro Racers Take. Today at the NCM Motorsports Park, we have a 2019 BMW M4 CS Coupe. I've been trying to get one of these for quite a while. Glad we finally got one. Let's get on track. As we like to do on PRT, we are doing the flying half mile. It's more than a half mile, and we basically give you a speed that is the end of it, whatever these cars get up to. The M4 CS does a great job on top speed pulls. It seems to be very aero efficient. Difficult sometimes to get the car off the line, but look at this. 158. Let's go check out the quarter mile and the 0 to 60. Little bit of wheel slip, front engined, rear wheel drive. That happens sometimes, but there you go. A 3.9 0 to 60. Excellent. Quarter mile. 11.9. Good numbers. Good numbers. All right, let's go to the hot lap. Okay, been looking forward to this one. It's going to be fun. The M4 is a super car to drive around. You certainly have to stay on top of it. Takes a lot of concentration. What that means is I'm trying to keep out of the little bit of understeer that comes in if you're not careful, and not oversteer the car when it's in understeer. A little bit of a happy rear end sometimes. You have to catch it. Runs really well. Love the engine. Some super engine. Screaming up there. And in here went well. Coming in here, then a little bit of understeer set in. I had to just let it slide out. Got it turning. Efficient. Have to be efficient here. And it stuck really well. Under the compression here, stuck well. Up to turn 8. Got it turned in at 8. Now watch the oversteer snap as I pulled it back right there. Pulled it back in. Took a little bit of control. I didn't really lose much at all, if anything, but it was a little exciting for a second there. Just checking the track limits a little bit. Great fun over here. And then flipped it back in, and boom, over 13. On it. Let's see what happens. Compressions, 133 through 15. Got it under control and on it. Got it nicely turned at the top. Just gassed it back. 100 miles an hour before 17 is impressive. Likewise, up to 90 miles an hour, down to 18. And again, now we're in the whole patience area here. Solid 70 miles an hour down there. And it's just okay, don't let the understeer get away from you. Flipped it back well there. Tidy here. Up against the left side and then flip it in. Bit of understeer. Tires are getting hot by this time. Almost clouted the wall, looked like. Two minutes, 15.93. That is only 3/10 slower than the Camaro SS1LE. Let's go back to the garage. Underneath the hood, we have a 3-litre twin-power turbo inline 6-cylinder engine. Produces 454 horsepower and 442 pounds-feet of torque. That's an increase of about 10 horsepower and 36 pounds-feet of torque over the M4 competition model. There is another thing I wanted to point out. This carbon fiber reinforced plastic hood. Plastic hood, carbon fiber reinforced. It looks very nice, as you can see on there. And also, I think of note, the carbon fiber strut brace here is kind of a beautiful piece of engineering. As happens this time of year in Kentucky, the weather is getting colder. It's now in the 40s and it's puking with rain. Hence the wardrobe change. I'm freezing. Let's have a look at this M4 CS and see what's unique to the CS and what stands out to me anyway. The front splitter, carbon fiber, that is unique to the CS. It's quite low and I'm sure it's incredibly expensive, but it does look good and it does the job, probably reducing lift on the front of the car. The black kidney grille, I also like the way that looks. We've already mentioned the hood, something that came off the GTS, which was, as we know, $150,000 worth. And the CS does have the carbon fiber roof, which has been coming on the M models for quite a while, without the sunroof, of course. You can't get it with the sunroof. On the back here, the gurney spoiler lip is unique to the CS, again, carbon fiber. And if you go down to the rear diffuser, that is also off the GTS. All of these pieces, I think, make the CS look very distinctive. And I like the way it looks from all angles, actually. Wanted to mention the OLED lights at the back, OLED technology. They look awesome. Check this out. This is spectacular. While we're back here, let's have a look in the trunk. A lot of room in here, 16 cubic feet. That is a big trunk. If you put the back seats forward, you get a lot more room. I have it on good authority that one of our team, 2 adults, 2 rollerboards, 2 backpacks, and 4 mounted wheels and tires of a GT3 RS in this vehicle. A lot more room in this car than you might think. I very much like these graphite grey wheels. I'm a fan of black and graphite looking wheels. I think the wheel looks good. I like the design. This particular CS comes with the optional M Sport, M Performance carbon ceramic brakes. They are 15.7-inch rotors up front with 6-piston calipers, and in the rear you've got the 15-inch rotors with the 4-piston calipers. And the CS rolls on the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. I'll talk more about those in just a second. 2 55/35 19s up front and the 2 85/30 20s in the rear. As some of you may know, the M4 CS does not come to the United States with the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires on it. Everywhere else in the world, it does come with the Cup 2, but here in the US, it's actually an after-sales accessory option. If you buy one of these from your dealership in the US, it comes with the Michelin Pilot Supersport. The reason I wanted Cup 2s on the car is because this car, the M4 CS, was developed and has dampers that match the Cup 2 tire, the way the BMW engineers set this car up. You guys saw what the lap time was. Here at the NCM Motorsports Park, in my experience, the Pilot Supersports would be about 2 seconds slower. On the driver performance side of the interior, I'll start with the steering wheel. M Alcantara steering wheel. Nicely done, M badging here, the M stitching, M colors, but it's a bit thick for my taste, but it works well. Not too many buttons on it, good stuff. The seats are fantastic. They really are. They're very supportive in the rib cage area, and that was very useful on track. The other thing, the paddle shifters, I did use the paddle shifters with this particular double clutch gearbox, and they worked well. And as far as the sound inside, it sounds very good. This car does come with the compacted natural fiber doors to save weight. It doesn't have any sound speakers in the door. So the active sound management that we all know cars have, the piped in sound these days, it's not as great in the car because you don't have all the speakers. And it sounds more natural, straight 6 BMW-like, and sounds great. So I've moved my seat back into the more natural driving position because one of the things people talk about is storage or lack thereof in here, and also the fact that it doesn't have an armrest here. The armrest is no issue for me on this side because my arm naturally rests against this buttress, this side support, and my arm rests there, and I have my hand here. I have no issue with that. On this side, I rest my arm on the door. No issue there either. As far as the lack of storage, you have a storage on this left side. It's got a door on it. You have sort of a mini glove box. You have the other glove box over here, and you have a couple of cup holders, and that's it. You don't have the center storage. Doesn't bother me at all, to be honest. There's so much Alcantara in here. It smells good. It looks good. Very luxurious. The dash with the analog gauges, some people might think it's a bit dated. I like it because it's simple. The iDrive will be very recognizable for BMW people, and it's the latest generation of the iDrive, and you've got the touchscreen up here, which works well. And as far as the drivability side, which is actually the fun stuff as far as I'm concerned, there's about 4 or 5 buttons here which control the traction control, stability control, control the engine efficiency, the shock absorbers, the steering, and also how the transmission works or how it shifts. Something we like to do when we have a vehicle that has an interesting exhaust. Well, the M4 CS has a very interesting and probably socially unacceptable exhaust. In fact, it might be the most interesting exhaust we've ever had. Check it out. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. It's stark. It's plain stark. Incredible. That being said or heard, let's go look at some corner shots. Very glad we finally got the M4 CS here to test. What I realized after driving it around a little bit is to maximize this car's performance, we had to put it on the tire that it was developed on, and that is the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tire. When we put that tire on, we got a lap time out of it that was exactly where the car is supposed to be. Whether you look at the NCA Motorsports Park or whether you look at the Nürburgring, it got the right time out of it. So, talking of the Nürburgring, let's take the 2016 M4 GTS, the CS, and an M4. At the Nürburgring, those cars are almost separated equally. GTS quickest, CS, and the M4. Let's talk about cost. GTS, CS, and M4. Equal cost separation there between those three cars. This car is a joy to drive. When you're in the driver's seat, you're surrounded by quality and luxury. Whether you're going to the grocery store or whether you're on your favorite back road, this car feels special. And it's certainly exclusive. They're not going to build many of these. I'll tell you what, the CS has certainly impressed me.